As we age, our medical needs obviously change. One crucial stage in a person's life is continuing care after the pediatric stage. And here with tips on making this transition successful is Dr. Kristen Austin from Swedish. And I have to admit that after I left my pediatric care, I probably didn't have a doctor till my late 20s. So how can you explain what it means to age out of pediatric care and how to successfully transition into getting your own doctor as an adult?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question, and I don't think you're alone in that. So pediatrics is really the care of children, and children is defined, like from infancy up through childhood and then adolescence. Adolescence really ends around age 21 or young adulthood.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So pediatrics, it's a specialty, and after you're no longer really a pediatric patient, it's time to kind of transition into adult healthcare.
So at what point does that stage begin? When you're in your 19, 20, 18, maybe you're starting to vote, find a new doctor too?
Pretty much,
okay.
Yeah. It used to be a little bit more arbitrary as far as an age cutoff. Mm-hmm. Some people would say, after 18 or after 21, but American Academy of Pediatrics has had to change that a little bit over the years, and it's more based on the needs of the patient. Mm-hmm. But in general, after around age 18, 19, 20, 21, that's the time that you want to start making that transition.
It's important. I remember being at 16 and going to see the gynecologist for the first time with my mom, and I mean, I'm going to be that parent too, or I'm going to be on top of all these things. So as a parent, making my child's appointments for them probably when they're 21. No, I'm kidding. I won't do that. But I want to know, as a parent, how can we start to make that transition? Like, how do we set ourselves up to be successful to find an adult healthcare provider?
Well, I think you actually kind of touched on an important part, which is teaching your child to try to advocate for themselves and start to make their own appointments. Yes. Because it's not uncommon that I will have, a patient come in with their mother and they're in their 20s, and it's not ideal.
So that's not, okay.
Right, so I think
because maybe not everything is so honest when you're with your parent?
Perhaps,
okay.
Yeah. So I think it's important when your child is a teenager to start to, have them go into the doctor's appointment by themselves.
Okay,
even.
okay.
That's not to say that you don't prep beforehand.
Right.
Like you want to have gone over, like, what do you want out of this appointment? What are you feeling?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, so kind of show them how to talk to, how to have that conversation, go in and what to ask for.
Right. Oh. Ideally, right, as a healthcare provider, I love it when my patient comes in and they kind of know what they're there for, right? Because we're going to, of course, ask probing questions, et cetera, to try to figure out what's going on.
Right.
But it's really helpful if they have an idea in their head already what they want out of the appointment,
right?
What's their concern,
what's bothering them, what's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you're getting ready for that, kind of prepping them, but then initially you might be in the room, but just as a parent, just be quiet.
Okay, quiet it down. Let them do their thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I can follow all those rules.
Right.
I'll try my best. So what discussions take place between the patient, the family, and their pediatrician before that transition? I mean, is this something that pediatrician's like, well, it's like you're trying to age out of my practice. It's time for that. I mean, does this conversation happen?
Well, I think it kind of happens over time.
Right. Okay.
But so a pediatrician is going to help you if, for example, you have special medical needs. They're going to maybe talk to you about, it's about time we think about transitioning to, say, an adult endocrinologist instead of pediatric endocrinologist, if you happen to have some special needs there.
Yeah.
But they can also help too. I think most of us with older children remember being asked to leave the exam room, right? So they're going to be helping with that transition along the way.
Okay, good. All right, so it's a whole team effort. I'm here for that. I do. It's funny you mention adult endos because my son needs an endocrinologist for a condition he has. So can you offer any advice on how to find a healthcare provider that's a good fit for those individual needs? Like how to go about that? Okay, I need to go from children's now to finding an endocrinologist for the adult body. Any advice on finding that fit? Not just for endocrinologists, but for any doctor in general.
Yeah, I think you start with your pediatrician.
Okay.
That's always, they're the ones who've known you forever. They know your family. There's also great information out there online. I think you want to probably check people's websites, check their bios, see where their interests are, see where their specialties are. Patient reviews are good too for when you're trying to find that right fit for you.
That's such a really important thing, is to read those reviews. Thank you so much, Dr. Austin. This has been a pleasure talking to you. I appreciate you helping me out with this. And I'm sure my children will appreciate it too. And to learn more about your pediatrics options and beyond at Providence Swedish, just visit the website on your screen.
Special presentation of New Day Northwest, sponsored by Providence Swedish.